Welcome, Fright Night Vault listeners. Settle in, because tonight's tale goes deep, literally. There's something deeply unsettling about old farmhouses. The way the walls lean just a little too far in, the smell of damp wood and rusted hinges, and sometimes, the way they breathe when no one's around. This story begins with a man doing something harmless enough, tearing up floorboards to fix a sagging kitchen. It's the kind of chore that usually leads to rotten beams, mouse nests, maybe a few lost tools, but this time he found something older, something never meant to be uncovered. Before we descend into tonight's story, I want to thank each of you tuning in from all over the world. The vault keeps growing, and it's all thanks to you. If you're new here, don't be shy. Drop a comment and let us know where you're listening from. If you're a returning soul, well, you already know the voices never stop. And if you've been enjoying the dread, liking and subscribing helps keep the vault whispering. Now, about that floor. The man in our story had just bought the house at a heavy discount. Rural, out of the way, barely held together, but cheap. And with some work, he figured he could flip it or rent it. The kitchen sagged noticeably, though, so he pulled up the warped boards and expected to find a moisture problem. Instead, he found stone, circular, ancient, covered in symbols that didn't belong to any region, religion, or culture he recognized, and in the center, a rusted iron ring embedded in a sealed stone plug. It wasn't part of the house's foundation, it wasn't on any map, and yet it was there, beneath the kitchen, like it had been waiting. That night, the whispers started. They didn't come from outside. They came from beneath the floor, scraping, dragging, tapping, like fingernails on wet stone. He heard voices too, first one, then two, then a full conversation in a language no one should have remembered. And the most chilling part? One of the voices sounded just like his father, but his father had been dead for 6 years. Now, here's the thing. There are places where the earth remembers pain, places where trauma seeps into the soil and congeals into something sentient. And when we build homes over those scars, sometimes they don't stay closed forever. So pour yourself something strong, lock the cellar, and keep your feet off the floor if you can. Tonight's story, The Well Under the Floorboards, starts now. I pried up the first board with a crowbar, expecting rot, but underneath was solid stone. Old, weathered, and clearly not part of any standard foundation. It wasn't concrete or brick. It was carved stone, circular, with faint markings that looked worn away by time or maybe even water. And at the center was an iron ring, heavy, black with rust, embedded in a stone plug, the kind of thing you'd expect to see capping a well, not hidden under a farmhouse kitchen. The plug didn't budge, so I left it. Figured I'd call someone later, maybe a historian, maybe someone who specialized in old wells. I didn't tell anyone else. I didn't even take pictures. That night, I woke to a faint tapping. It came from the kitchen, not the window, not the door, beneath. 3 slow taps, like knuckles on stone, then silence. I told myself it was just the house settling. The place was ancient, wood warped in all directions. But the second night I heard whispers, muffled, wet. When I got out of bed and walked to the kitchen, the air felt heavier, as if it didn't belong to me anymore. The whispering stopped the second I stepped onto the kitchen tile. The next morning the iron ring was upright. I didn't touch it, didn't even go near it. But there it was, no longer flush with the stone. It stood upright, like someone, or something, had pulled it loose from below. There was dirt around the edges now, wet, dark clumps that smelled like sulfur and decay. I tried calling a contractor, but the signal dropped every time I got near the kitchen. My phone just went black. When I left the house and walked 50 feet away, the signal came back. The moment I returned, gone. That night, the voices were louder. They said my name, not just once, over and over, from directly beneath the floorboards. Aaron, Aaron, come help me. It was my father's voice, clear, familiar. He'd died in that same house. I didn't go near the ring that night. I didn't sleep. I just sat in the hallway with a baseball bat and every light on. The lights flickered at exactly 3:12 a.m., not all at once, in sequence, like someone was walking the perimeter of the house. The next day, I packed everything and loaded the truck. I wasn't going to stay and let this place get inside my head, but when I turned the ignition, nothing. Battery was fine, tank full, but the truck was dead. I walked a mile to the neighbor's place. No one answered. The screen door was flapping in the breeze and their porch light was still on, in the middle of the day. When I got back to the house, the kitchen window was shattered from the inside, and something had come out of the floor. The boards around the well were cracked and splintered. The iron ring was gone. There was an opening now, small but wide enough to crawl through, and from inside I could hear water dripping and breathing. I should have run. I should have burned the place down, but I knelt at the edge just to look. The shaft didn't drop straight. It twisted like a tunnel dug by something alive. The stone was wet and pulsing like it had veins. I saw movement deep inside. Not human, not animal, something ancient. It stared back. No eyes, no face, but I felt it staring, and it whispered again. "You left me here, Aaron. You forgot." I don't remember falling. I don't remember crawling back up. But I woke up in bed, clothes soaked, hands covered in mud and blood. The floor was sealed again. No sign of damage, no shattered boards, no open well, just the original floor, perfectly intact. But the kitchen was colder than the rest of the house, and the iron ring, it's on my nightstand now. I didn't put it there. If I try to leave, the truck won't start. If I walk, I get turned around. The same tree, the same bend in the road, over and over. The well didn't just open a hole in my floor, it opened something else. Something that knows my name, that remembers my family, that wants me to stay. If you're ever in a house and find something buried beneath the boards, don't touch it, don't look too close. And whatever you do, never listen to the voice that sounds like someone you loved. Because once it knows you believe, it never stops calling. If you enjoy these types of horror audio stories, just add a like, comment, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps the vault from going silent. And if you hear a knock from under your floor tonight, maybe don't answer it. See you on the next one. Don't let the roots reach you. If you made it this far, you're one of us. Subscribe so you don't miss what crawls out next.